Let's start all over again. This is my main mass that I go to, and I consider the Spanish people my church family too.
Mm-hmm. So what do you like? What are the other traditions that they have? Like we know that there's a Lady of Guadalupe. What do you normally do during that day?
Well, the night before, we gather about 11 o'clock, and from 11 o'clock to midnight, we have something called Mañanitas, and we sing a lot of songs about Our Lady of Guadalupe, and then we also pray the Rosary, and then the next day we'll have Mass on the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe. We'll have Mass about 7 o'clock, and now for the last year and then again this year, I'm having the children sing a song. So that's their celebration. As far as their other traditions that we do when the Feast of the Three Kings comes about, Epiphany, we have something where we bring bread. It's called roscas, and we all partake of the bread, and whoever gets the baby Jesus then is responsible to bring tamales for another celebration. So that's something that we do.
Coming up next
yes,
year,
that's
right?
coming up. Yeah.
So have they always been doing that, or is
Yes.
this,
Yeah, we've been doing that every year. We also have been, for Our Lady of Guadalupe, we've been doing a 9-day novena, and so we pray the Rosary every day, and last year we gathered in homes to pray the Rosary, and we'll do that again this year.
Oh, so they go to different
Yes, we'll go to different houses and pray the Rosary for the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
And I know one of the things that is also very Spanish or in tradition is the altar of the dead.
Yes.
Is there any special, usually at around when in Spanish Mass, do they do anything special?
Well, this is the table that's set up every year, and so they bring various items, pictures of loved ones who've passed, and this is their tradition. So this stays up all the way until Advent, and then it'll be. So it's kind of their tradition to go along with All Souls Day and All Saints Day.
So how do you feel about especially in this church? This is more of the church with a multicultural, kind of worship. Like there's Filipino, there's Spanish. How do you feel being part of that?
I feel like it's a calling. I've always been involved with music, but I feel that God's called me to be part of this because their formation, being Catholic, and is just as important as the English is. And I do know that if you can worship in your own language, that it makes it even more personal. But I do feel it's a calling to be part of and I'm glad I took it in high school.
So now you're very into Spanish. You can speak Spanish very fluently now.
Little bit more. One of the ladies in the congregation named Connie Elmore actually came to me when I first took the job and told me that she would be happy to tutor me every week, and we did that for 3 years.
Wow.
So I really studied and became better at reading Spanish and understanding it better.
Well, you do good. I thought you are actually Spanish.
Well, that's a compliment. Thank you.
I thought you are actually Spanish, but so
No, I was born right here in America.
That's why I was going to ask you what country are you from? But so what is your fondest, like the most memorable event that you've had, like for the last 5 years that you've been singing in Spanish and stuff like that? What is your fondest memory or your best memory?
One of the things that they asked me to lead the Divine Mercy Chaplet in Spanish, and that means a lot to me. I'm devoted to Divine Mercy, and the fact that they brought that tradition into our community is really nice. I have a picture at home and I bring it and then lead the Divine Mercy Chaplet, and they ask me to do it every year. So that really means a lot. Yeah.
No, now that I know that you're not really Spanish, so what do you think of their culture of the Spanish when it comes to religion, like their traditions and stuff like that?
The thing that I've noticed the most is how family oriented they are. I've been to a few parties that they've had. I've been to some, like when there's a baptism or things like that. They're very family oriented, and they really stick together and help one another, and really I feel a lot of love and care from them. And if you think about it, here they are coming here, and a lot of them, their families over in Mexico, or the ones that are from South America, they've got family over there. So really, you become like family with them because, their mother's gone or is over there, or family members. So I just feel like they just embraced me right away.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm like their sister, and I love the children. When they have their babies, I always go up and want to hold them or want to see them right away, and that's really nice too.
What do you think of the trilingual mass that we have every October for the feast of the St. Margaret Mary? We usually, before the picnic, we usually have like a mass wherein, it's different languages. What do you think of that?
I think that's very nice. I think it makes I think the Filipinos, the Spanish people, and the English people, we all feel like we're one when we are having the trilingual mass. Everybody feels a part of St. Margaret Mary Church. I think that's real important that we're part of this big family of the Catholics, the universal church.
Yeah. What are your hopes for the future of the church and its, being multicultural in a way? What are your hopes for this church?
Well, I would like to see it grow some more. I know that there are a lot more Spanish people in the community, and I would like to see more come. I think it'd sure be nice to have some more instruments. I know I won't do this forever. Hopefully the younger kids or the younger ones will come up and want to be part of it and keep the tradition going. So I just, for growth, and we've had some marriages, and I really think that's good. I don't mean to say this in a bad way, but some of the people are not married, and so that's one of the things that I can encourage and say, you can get married, and you're welcome to get married, and so we've had 3 marriages in the last 5 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think that's really good.
So by the way, there's more
Okay.
like with you also are involved, like, are they also doing like their baptism and their, over
Yes.
here at church and around 3 o'clock too, when they will have the
Yes,
celebration?
yes, we have baptisms. It just depends on the family. Some of them want to have a party afterwards.
Mhm.
Some of them choose not to do that. Just depends, you know,
Mhm.
who it is and what they want to do.
Mhm.
So yeah, we.
So are you from there, Holly?
No, I'm from Batesville, Indiana, is
From
where
Batesville?
where I
Yes.
grew up most of my growing up. I was actually born in Texas, and because my dad was in the Navy, and we moved different places, and then
Mhm.
we ended up there. I came up here to go to school to be an RN.
Oh.
So,
Mm.
and then
Have you been to Mexico?
yes, I went about 5 years ago for a month, because I wanted to experience the culture, and it was a good experience. You know, I got to see, you know, how people lived, various, you know, and I can see why they would come here. You know, why the Mexicans would come here. But yeah, it was a good experience. I'm glad that I did it.
Did you go with somebody from the congregation?
No, I just
or-
went by myself,
Oh,
and I
okay.
stayed with the family,
Mhm.
and it was. You know, I'm glad I went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you also go like to the churches there? And
Oh
then-
yeah. Oh yeah. And that's one thing. The churches are packed.
Mhm,
They were
mhm.
packed. The people really expressed their faith,
Mhm.
and that was very enjoyable. And they sing, and yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Those are
nice.
like big churches too. They have big churches.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was pretty big, the ones that I went to.
Mhm.
Very devout. And one thing I got to do was I flew over to Mexico City, and I got to see Our Lady of Guadalupe, the real, you know, the real Tilma, and that was very nice, you know, to actually see it, you know, with my eyes.
Mhm.
And like I said, the people are very devout there.